You ever meet someone who says, "You can't scare me," and you immediately take that as a challenge? Yeah, that's this book. You Can't Scare Me, Goosebumps book number 15, dropped in 1993. This one is basically just kids being petty the entire time. Like the whole book is just one long we gotta prove something moment. I asked the plot for You Can't Scare Me. A group of kids get tired of their fearless, perfect classmate and spend the entire story trying to scare her with pranks, animals, and eventually a full on monster set up in the woods. And none of it works. Alright, so this cover is just straight up orange, like everything is orange and red, except for this back here. There's barely any other color, maybe a little blue in the shadows. That's it. This looks exactly like Georgia red clay. That nasty shit was everywhere where I grew up. And then you just got these three mud monsters just coming out of the ground. They look like soulless swamp creature versions of Swamp Thing. They're creepy, but they're kind of ridiculous at the same time. Yeah, look at this one with the big gaping mouth. That's supposed to be scary, but it's actually kind of funny. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a cover this orange in my life. It just looks gross. I wouldn't even be scared of the monsters. I'd be scared of ruining my clothes in that nasty mud. They're coming for you. Yeah, and I'm not scared at all. Spoiler warning, you have been warned. The twist after all their planning was the real mud monsters actually show up, and the kids freak out and run, while the girl they were trying to scare is just excited about it and brags about it later. That's literally the twist. Also, after the third failed attempt, I'd be done. There's no more pranking. She wins. I'm not dedicating more of my life to scaring one person. And the fact that they escalated from a rubber snake to a tarantula to full monster costumes, this turned into a full operation for no reason. Also, being so fearless that even real monsters show up and you're just like, ah, cool, that's kind of insane, really. The TV episode changes a lot. They cut out a bunch of the characters, including most of his friends and even his brother, the main character that is. They also simplify everything. Instead of a group of monsters, there's just one, and it literally gets talked to death. They even removed the field trip and changed some of the scare scenes so Courtney just ends up saving them instead. And the ending is totally different. The book ends with the kids getting scared for real and giving up, but the episode does a classic twist where the monster comes back one last time. Same idea, but way more toned down and goofy. So I actually bought this one back at the book fair back in '95, and it was one of the first Goosebumps books I ever owned. I shit you not. I think I grabbed like 4 or 5 books that day, and somehow I never read this one. It literally just sat on my shelf, never watched the episode either, and I didn't see it until I was an adult. So this was one that just completely slipped right past me, which is crazy because I remember this cover sitting on the shelf the whole time. And I remember just staring at it thinking, this thing looks insane. These mud monsters look so weird and goofy to me. And this is such a random childhood thing, but I remember looking at the book with the big gaping mouth and the monster and saying, Spawn, Spawn, like the Spawn character from the Todd McFarlane thing. And I have no idea why I thought that. Kids are just weird like that. But yeah, I think of stuff like this and I think back to like Swamp Thing or something like that. Even one of those episodes of Aladdin, the animated series where they're dealing with those mud creatures, kind of reminded me of that too. But honestly, this book just sat on my shelf my whole childhood. I never touched it, which is wild because now going back to it, this is actually a really fun one. And I just completely skipped it for no reason. And I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have actually read this damn thing because You Can't Scare Me is actually a really cool book. Well, thanks for watching, and remember, if someone says you can't scare them, just let life handle it. Next episode, we're diving into One Day at Horrorland, because yeah, a theme park of evil sounds like a great idea. See you then.